Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Flourish and Thrive with CA, where we talk about relationship issues, we talk about healing from trauma and trauma recovery, and how to build healthy recovery. My name is Elizabeth Akini, and I am a relationship and marriage therapist. And okay, I need to check something. I need to check what's wrong with this thing. Okay, like I was actually saying, well, okay, okay, let me go back to what I was saying. Um, my name is Elizabeth Akinde. I am a relationship and marriage therapist, and today we'll be talking about, we'll be continuing from where we stopped 2 weeks ago, and that is on codependency. I won't take much of your time today because I'm still stressed out. Um, you can all remember, I don't know, maybe many of you remember last week I was supposed to continue with the topic I was taking, but due to the fact that I was actually stressed out, I was really stressed out, and it had an effect on my physical health, and as a result I had to be on bed rest for days. Actually, I'm not even supposed to be working right now, but I just decided I think I have to make this video. So that's the reason why I'm making this video actually today. But I won't be going deep into this topic today. So I will just brush on it. Maybe next week when I'm feeling much more better, I'll actually be talking much on other things. So what are we talking about today on codependency? We will be talking about how your childhood and your family pattern shapes the way you are. So it's an aspect of codependency, that the way you were brought up as a child, the kind of family you had as a child, how it shaped you to become somebody that will need to fix people, rescue people, or solve people's problems. So that is what we will be talking about today. Actually, I'm still feeling kind of cold. Well, but I just have to do this. I just have to do this. So, so I won't be taking much of everybody's time. So, as the case may be, so let me just brush over it. What exactly is codependency? So, codependency is a situation whereby you take care of other people's needs, you take care of other people's needs, while leaving your own needs left unattended, or you take care of other people's needs whereby you till you lose yourself and you don't even know who you are anymore, because your sense of self-worth is actually coming from you taking care of other people's needs, fixing them, rescue them, loving them, taking care of them. So it is when you do all this, and that is when you feel fulfilled as a person. So that is what codependency is actually all about. So I don't know, maybe you found someone, like anybody can be codependent. That's just it. Anybody can be codependent. I can be codependent, you can be codependent. It happens. Well, it means that we have to come to the self-awareness that, oh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I losing myself? That is when you come to that self-awareness. So anybody can be codependent, but there's a situation whereby it becomes something somebody does, it becomes a norm. Then that is when it's actually a big problem. So codependency and addiction, they go hand in hand together, they move hand in hand together. So now, how is it formed? How is it formed? So that's what we'll be talking about today. The family dynamics. What happens in your childhood, the kind of family you have can actually shape you to start becoming somebody who is needing to fix people, take care of people. So if you grew up in a family, let's just start with this. If you grew up in a family whereby maybe you were the firstborn, or you were made to take up adult responsibility at a very young age, then um such a situation you such a situation as a child, you will find yourself, take, I don't even know how I'm going to put it, but when as a child you were the one taking care of other people's need. As a child, you were not, let me put it this way, maybe you were the firstborn, or you lost your parents, or you were, something just happened that you had to take care of your younger ones, or you had to take care of your siblings, or you have to take up a role that an adult has to take, then in such a situation you are already used and addicted to to that part of you. Have you always taken care of people, because that is where your self esteem comes from. Always taking care of people, take care of your friend, take care of your family. That is where your self esteem comes from. So that is where your self esteem from comes. So the thing there is this, that if you as a child grew up in a family whereby you were made to take care of your younger siblings, or maybe your parent died and you had to be the one to fend for yourself as a child. Maybe you were like 10 or 15 and your parents died and you had to take care of them, of yourself and of your other siblings. In such a situation, you might say, okay, the best thing you can actually do is, as long as you take care of other people's needs, and if they're happy, I'm happy. If they're fine, I'm fine. So you can imagine such scenario. If I'm happy, my whole body is actually, I don't know. I will have to end this live session very soon, but I'll still be going. So in such a situation, you say, if I'm fine, um if once they are fine, I'm fine. So such a person might neglect their own needs. They might neglect their whatever they want to do, because to them family is priority. Taking care of their younger one is priority. Then we have people like that that will say family is priority, so they will take care of everybody's needs in the family, make sure that everybody is all right, everybody is happy, why they themselves are not actually happy, because they will always say, as long as they are happy, I'm happy. So in such a situation it becomes a norm to them, so taking care of everybody while neglecting themselves. So another way I can actually put codependency is not, is just in one word: self abandonment. Abandoning yourself for for taking care of other people. And you might have in a family whereby as a child you were made to, like my dad would tell us, be seen and not be heard. It really had an impact on me when when as an adult, be seen and not be heard. So most of the time I always believe that I have to be quiet at all places. So the only way I can get people to notice me is by doing something to make them like me. So before it took me a long time before I could know I was actually codependent, because that was the way I was brought up. So when you silence a child at all times and tell them their feelings are ignored, everything they have to say is ignored, you are actually making them feel unworthy about themselves, because their self-esteem is going to crash down. Yes, I have self-esteem issues as an adult. Yes, and it's really had an impact on me. Growing up in a family whereby you can't speak your voice. Every time you want to speak up, they tell you, who ask you for your opinion, and shut up. You don't have any say. Of all people, you are the least and you are not supposed to speak anything. That you understand those kind of things. I don't want to remember things like that, but it's just how it has been. So in such a scenario, such a situation, when a child like that grows up as an adult, it has an impact on the child, because the child is being made to believe that, yes, I'm not good enough. So the only way I can be good enough is by taking care of others. So when taking care of others and people giving them good remarks, and that is what makes them feel happy, so they will continue to do more. Yes, they will continue to do more, and that is when it becomes a norm. It becomes an addiction. That is what made them codependent. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's the way they were brought up. So another thing is the people's pleasing pattern. When you have people who are always um they always love to please people. They always want to make everybody happy. Like I will always say, "Look, people, no, it's like, see, you can't please people. You can't make everybody happy with you. That is just it. You can't please people. You can't make everybody happy with you." So that is just, or what did they call it? That is just how it is. You, no matter how you try to make people love you, to make people stay by pleasing them, if they're going to leave you, they're going to leave you. That is just one of the things I want you to know. And these people pleasing pattern, you find it very difficult to say no. You find it very difficult to air your own opinions. So like I will always say, somebody who is a people's pleaser is somebody that is always afraid to face conflicts, and somebody who is afraid of being criticized or rejected. So in such a situation, they will stay in a relationship whereby people will take advantage of them. They won't be able to say no. They won't be able to say no, and that is not so good. So in such a situation, they become addicted to continuing doing, and that is when they become codependent, because they have to keep doing what they are doing so that those people will stay in their life. And when they do that, they, how will I put it, they, once they keep doing that, that is where their self-worth comes from, because they believe that as long as they do that, those people will stay in their life. So trying to fix people, trying to rescue people, it's not the best thing. Even relationship, in romantic relationship, we have with people trying to fix a partner, trying to change your partner. That can obviously, you don't have to fix your partner. If your partner has a problem, let them fix themselves. Or what if they don't have a problem? What if they are not your ideal match? They are not your ideal kind of a person, and you just decide that, oh, I'm going to change him, I'm going to try to fix him or fix her. It's not going to work. Let them be themselves. Let them be themselves. So going about fixing people, trying to rescue people, trying to save people in relationship is only going to bring to burnout. It's not going to actually help you in any way. So that's some of the things that happen. Some of the things that happen that makes some people codependency is some might have to do with what do they call this, the way they were brought up in their childhood. Some might have to become, there's some, we call it parentified child. That is what I call it, the parentified child. They were meant to become adults at a very young age, or at a young age. Another thing is that their feelings were ignored. They didn't see them as being important in us, and that it has a crash on their self-esteem. And another thing is that there are some people with the people's pleasing pattern. They love to please people, and that is they find it very difficult to say no. And another thing is, I didn't mention this. Another thing is, if you grew up in an abusive home, or you grew up in a home whereby your parents were emotionally unavailable, then you would understand and relate to what I'm saying. Because when your parents were not there for you, you were the ones that had to take care of your own emotional needs. And most of the time, you might need to grow up and start taking care of their own emotional needs. So you might actually become a peacemaker in your home, trying to make sure that there's peace in the home, there's order in the home. And that is when it becomes a norm, because you're always trying to help everybody solve their, what is it called, solve every issue that they have. That is when it becomes a norm. So these are some of the ways, the way we were brought up by our parents, how it's affected us in adulthood, and that's how it's related to codependency. So I'll just be talking few of the signs, and then I'll be talking about the healing, because as I am, I'm still feeling this heaviness all over me, and I'll have to end this class soon. So some of the signs of codependency is that they have a low self-esteem, and the second sign is they are actually people's pleasing. They are actually people's pleasing. The third thing is that it becomes an addiction. It becomes very difficult for them to stop. So another sign is that they are actually anxious. They are always anxious and clingy. And another sign is that they are actually controlling. Sometimes they might actually put manipulation in it, or just to take control and to be in charge. Yes. So sometimes they are like that. They are controlling, and sometimes they go extra mile to see to it that they always be the one taking care of all this issue, everything. They fear being rejected. They fear being criticized, but they can criticize and reject all other people. They fear being judged, but they can actually judge other people and tell them this is what you need. So most of the time, when you tell them that this is what they need to rest, they need to do this, they won't accept it from you. So they will tell you, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. All I just need is just, I've seen people like that. Instead of them in acknowledging that they have a problem, they will tell you that they are fine. And before you know it, they are up on their feet fixing other people's problem again. I'm like, is this people all right? So these are some of the signs of somebody who is codependent. So when you find yourself, or you find someone with some of these signs, that shows they are codependent. I'm going to repeat them again. Some of the signs is that they are always anxious and clingy. There's always addiction. There's people's pleasing. there's always control. They are always they find it very difficult to um they I don't I would like put this, they don't want to be judged, but they learn to judge other people. They hate being criticized, but they can criticize other people. They hate being rejected, but they can also reject other people in relationships. So most of the time they tend to stay in toxic relationship thinking that the person will change. Yes, because their lack of boundaries, they lack boundaries, they have low self-esteem. Their lack of boundaries will make them get attracted to toxic partner, and most of the time they will want to fix those partners, trying to change them. So it makes them stay in that relationship for a very long time. So instead, the time they're supposed to use to work out of that relationship, they stay in that relationship trying to fix the partner, trying to make the other person what their ideal mate. And eventually it leads to burnout, especially when the partner does not change. It leads to burnout, and it's not good, it's not so good. So most of the time I will always tell people with codependency, they self-abandon themselves, and it's not so good. So in all these things, let me just move to the next thing. So how do you heal from it? How do you heal from codependency? Oh my god, I'm having this serious headache. So how do you heal from codependency? One of the things I will actually say is, um if you don't come to the self-awareness that you are codependent, there's nothing anybody can do. I have somebody very close to me who is a codependent person, and the person is always trying to fix everybody. You know, I've called this person times and times with that number and trying to make them understand that this tendency is wrong. You don't have to fix anybody, you try to make decisions for everybody. You're always trying to tell everybody what they're going to do. So he doesn't believe it. It feels like as if I'm making it all up. It goes out to the spot of making decisions for you and telling you, all grown adults making decisions for me and telling me what I have to do. See, it became an heated argument between me and that person. And I told that person, if you don't stop, I'm going to cut every access you have into my life, and that will be the end. I don't care that we are released by God. Enough is enough. You need to learn to know your boundaries. So that is how it is. I now realize that since he can't come to the self-awareness that he is codependent, that he has a problem, and that he has an addiction, and he needs to stop, he can't sleep. So the first step towards any of these things is understanding, coming to the self-awareness that there's a problem. If you are not aware that there's a problem, you won't find a solution. So the second thing you can actually now do, once you're aware of it, is you need to go back in time and check your childhood. What were you told? What was that incident that happened to you as a child that shaped your perspective about taking care of other people, that made you abandon yourself? Because when you keep hearing words like you're not good enough, you're not beautiful, your parents were criticizing you as a child, they built up so low self-esteem inside of you, they made you feel like as if you're not good enough. So all you want to hear is somebody telling you nice things. Instead of you telling yourself nice things, you want to mix. You have to go outside to look for someone to tell you nice things. That is how you feel worthy. So, and if it involves you taking care of them, that's okay, but that's not so good enough. So you need to check, find out what incidents happened to you as a child that prompted out you trying to go outward to check for yourself, to get attention from outside. Because when you don't identify the source of the problem, you won't be able to sort the problem out. So that's one of the things I do in therapy. When I talk with my clients, I don't just treat the symptoms. I go back to what happened in the past. I go back to their childhood, to the roots of the problem. It is from the roots of the problem that is when I can actually solve the problem out. That is what's happening. So from the roots of the problem, that is when I can actually solve the problem out. So that is exactly what is actually going on. So what is the next thing that you can actually do? So one of the next thing you can actually do is, you need to actually learn to practice emotional boundaries. Practice emotional boundaries. You don't just allow anybody into your, like I will always say, boundaries are gateways that filters the kind of people that enters into your life. They protect you. So you need to protect your emotional space. It's not everybody that you allow into your heart and let them continue to hurt your feelings. No, you need to identify what triggers your emotions. You need to find that out. It took me a very long time. Yes, it took me a very long time. But when I was able to identify what my problem was and where the source was coming from, the person responsible for it, in fact, I give the person a very hard time. If I see the person calling me, I will just call their call. Tell them, don't you ever, I will send them, don't you ever call me again. Yes, I had to be very, very strict. Until when that person learned to stop making decisions for me. I was like, if you don't learn to stop, I won't stop doing what I am doing. So that is another thing you can actually do. So the next thing you can do is to rebuild yourself first. Say nice things to yourself. Try affirmations. So when you want to rebuild yourself first, start with journaling. Another thing is, um apart from starting with journaling, the next thing you can actually do is to um do some affirmations. Affirmations, talk to yourself nicely. Talk to yourself in the mirror, talk to yourself nicely, affirm your words every day. See the best in yourself, and most importantly, take yourself out. Have a day out, with me, with yourself, with myself. Go on a self rediscovery journey with yourself. Just only you, nobody else. Give yourself that, what is it called, that treat that nobody has ever given to you. Just stay clear, not trying to fix anybody, just taking care of yourself. That is some of the things I would advise anybody to do. I would have loved to continue, but I can't continue. I can't. As it is, I don't still have that stamina to be able to make videos. Until when I'll be fully okay, I might come on one time to make videos, but I'm not yet fully strong enough to be able to make videos. Although I might do live sessions, but I don't think I'll be able to come. I'll make any videos. So guys, I'm sorry, but I think this is where I have to stop my video. As I'll have to communicate with everybody by, maybe I'll be having a live session by next week, or maybe I'll only be having a live session. But I just need to really, really rest. The stress affected every part of my, it affected my health. So it gave me some stress related health issues, and I'm advised to rest until when I'll be fine. So I don't know if I'll be able to have the live session next week, but whatever the case might be, just keep your eyes posted on my post. I might have to, if I'm having a live session next week, I'll send a post, and if I'm not, I'm also going to send a post. So that is what it's all about. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get me updates when I make a new video review. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. So take care of yourself and do have a nice day. Bye.